So yesterday was one of those days where things just seemed to go very well. So I went out in the day, I ran some errands, I did those tasks, that you usually say that you'll do tomorrow. I did them yesterday. And what I realized was that I had this phenomenal day. I felt great. People seemed to be friendly, really friendly, and things just seemed to flow more. Things seemed to flow better. So I was thinking to myself, what made that day as such? What was the energies that occurred that made that day in that particular way, in that, setup? I reflected on it and I realized that, wait a minute, for the last few weeks, I've been consciously resetting my subconscious mind and reprogramming it and programming it with the right things. So I realized that it is my responsibility as to the quality of days that I experience or the quality of life that I experience. Because ultimately, I've been putting in this work to expose myself to the information, to that information about subconscious programming, about thinking a certain way, feeling is the secret, using your imagination, living as though the wish is fulfilled. So kind of the underlying lesson there is that as people, as me, as a person, I have a huge responsibility, and that responsibility is to program my mind in a certain way, to expose myself to this information on repetition, because you might read something once, all right, and it's this phenomenal idea, it's this great concept, it's this insight that you gain, but then you seem to forget it as time passes. As time goes, you just get into the life and get into the swing of things, and you just kind of forget. But then when you read it again, you are back in that state. You might have a different state, but you feel it again. All right? So I decided that I'm going to continue on a daily basis, expose myself to these concepts of reprogramming my subconscious mind, of filling my mind with things that I know will help me. Might not be directly, but indirectly. But obviously indirect can mean direct, all right? So that is what I've been doing. And this is exactly the point that I'm going to drive home with, is that expose yourself to information and knowledge that is going to empower and boost your subconscious mind. By boost, it means that you will absorb the information and then your life will seem to fall out and play out in a certain way. Not fall out, it will tend to fall in place in a certain way, in a particular order. And that's the magic. That's where the magic comes from. Because if you continually expose yourself to certain material, whether it's good or bad, this is why it's such a big thing as to the content you consume. Content curation is such a big thing. Because if you were just consuming this positive information and these things that empower you, imagine how your life will turn out. Imagine all of the things that will happen. Imagine how you think and feel. Because ultimately how you feel a large percentage of how you feel can affect your actions and your behaviors. In a way, I'm not some psychotherapy specialist or anything like that, but it's stuff that I experienced myself. Because when I don't feel good, I don't tend to perform as well. And yes, there is the concept of performing no matter how you feel, which is very important, because you need to go to the gym, you need to try to eat healthy, no matter how you feel, But ultimately, if you want to be extremely effective, having the power to control how you feel definitely comes from the material that you consume. Because there might be days when you don't have so much control and you might need to You might need to rely on other faculties to make the quality better. So these other faculties are the information that you consume. Because the other days you might not need it. The other days you can just go by and be like, wow, the sun is out and I feel fantastic. And boom, you slam through all of your tasks and it feels amazing and everyone wins and you win. And you get so many things done and that's an awesome day, right? But then there might be some days where you're like, oh, it's just hard to get into the flow. I'm struggling. And then you just, because you're constantly repeating this information to yourself and exposing yourself to that subconscious reprogramming information, you win. So what are examples of this? Let me actually be tangible here and give you real examples of what this is. So, for example, a book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That's example of a material that is reprogramming your subconscious mind, or audiobooks or podcasts that particularly talk about this topic, about, living in a certain way, living as though the wish is fulfilled, using your imagination, all of these things, bringing in states of joy and peace and blissfulness. And this is also particularly information you can get from a guy called Joseph Rodriguez. He does phenomenal breakdowns. When I go in the gym, I'm listening. He has a series he's done basically where he breaks down books, and he breaks down Think and Grow Rich, As a Man Thinketh. There's a few other books I can't recall now. A few well-known ones. And he breaks them down in like a study way. And I listen to that while I gym. So this is a perfect time for me to be reprogramming my subconscious mind. I have scheduled it into my day I dedicate 1 hour to just subconscious programming. So this includes the reading, the audiobooks. I am yet to still get that in my routine. I've just made a new schedule, a new routine. So I need to get, more into that, more consistent with that, as to just a dedicated time and not doing something else, just listening to it, maybe taking some notes, and that's it. No, like not at the gym, or not doing it while I'm doing something else, right? Anyways, that is just my experience. The awesome day I had yesterday, something I reflected on. And if you find that information valuable, use it. If you don't use it. It's really not a one size fits all. It's not the solution to all of your problems. It's not the one key to success, all right? It's a destination, and there are many roads that lead to that destination. So there are different routes that you can take. This is just one I've experienced, and it seems to be working out really well. Anyways, have a good day and good luck, and try it out.